Justin Trudeau is entitled to his entitlements. You are entitled to pay for them. By now, you've heard of the story. You've seen the headlines. It's the most popular story in Canada right now. Justin Trudeau wanting a helipad at Harrington Lake, the official cottage of the Prime Ministers of Canada. Now, just to be clear, because some people are confused, no, I'm not calling this Justin Trudeau's cottage. It belongs to the people. Every Prime Minister of Canada since at least Diefenbaker has used the place. It's a place of respite. It's a place to go and unwind. It's a classic Canadian cottage, but let's face it, nicer than most. Really, it's an old farmhouse up on Harrington Lake in the Gatineau Hills. It's about a 25-minute drive from Ottawa. But Justin Trudeau is turning it into Party Central with all the additions. And in the summer of 2017, it turns out that bureaucrats spent an awful lot of time looking into whether they could put a helipad up there. Now, there's a lot of problems with this. So many, it's hard to detail them all, but let's try. First off, let's acknowledge that the Prime Minister's office says, oh no, we never asked for this. Well, the tip that we had was that he did, and that we should ask, through access to information, what the National Capital Commission had on this. They told us they had 68 pages of emails and memos detailing discussions about a helipad going in at Harrington Lake, but they won't release them. They won't release them because they say, well, one, security, but two, well, these are plans and positions of the government agency. These are consultations and deliberations, which means they were talking about it. They were talking about this extensively. Treasury Board, the department that decides what money gets spent on, they were brought into this discussion, as well as the Capital Commission, the RCMP. Even somebody that's now at the center of Trudeau's Privy Council office, his own department, was involved in the discussion. So these discussions were happening, but here's the thing. Let's say you put in a helipad up at the cottage. It's only a 25-minute drive away from where the Prime Minister lives, on the grounds of Rideau Hall right now, across the street from 24 Sussex. Where does the helipad land in Ottawa? Where does he take off from? There's no room at 24 Sussex. It's completely inappropriate to put it on the grounds of Rideau Hall, where the Governor General lives, because those grounds are open to the public. They're also heavily tree-filled. You'd have to cut down a ton of trees, and an environmentalist like Trudeau wouldn't want to do that. Well, would he drive to the Macdonald-Cartier Airport in the south end of Ottawa, a 30-minute drive away, to get on a helicopter instead of driving 25 minutes to his cottage? That doesn't seem to make any sense at all. But these discussions went on. That's one problem. The other problem, we don't have a helicopter for the Prime Minister in this country. There is no Canadian equivalent of Marine One, the helicopter that ferries U.S. presidents around. We don't have that. And in fact, our own military has had years of trouble trying to get helicopters bought for them. What are you going to do? Just take one from them now? Are you going to force the Special Forces to become the Special Persons Division, and instead of fighting bad guys, ferry the Prime Minister around? It makes zero sense from so many perspectives. And I would even argue that for all those that are saying, well, this is a security need, I would say that a helicopter flying into the Gatineau Hills is far greater a security risk than a car motorcade going to that same area. I've encountered the Prime Minister's motorcade. It is not an easy target. A helicopter floating above a heavily treed area? Yeah, that is. So why would so many Canadians jump on board this and believe it? Maybe because they can totally understand Justin Trudeau going for this, because this is a man entitled to his entitlements. We've seen through other access to information document releases that he wanted a pontoon boat delivered to Harrington Lake. He wanted a water ski boat delivered there. He wanted a sailboat, a couple of paddle boards, a specific type of canoe, two very specific types of kayaks. He wanted a treehouse with a zip line put on the property.
Go down there, hang by your feet. Show these idiots.
On my feet?
Yeah.
This guy wants to turn this place into Party Central. So of course Canadians will look at this and go, yeah, I completely believe that he's going to do this. I don't believe the PMO denials. We've got the documents that show they were discussing this. It's just a question of who initiated it. And I don't believe for a second that Trudeau didn't, when you look at everything else that he's asked from, as I said, the boats, the floating dock with the diving board, the sauna for 10. Yes, he paid for the sauna. We paid for the installation. This guy knows that he has a lifestyle that he wants to be accustomed to, and he wants you to pay for it. He, as I said off the top, he's entitled to his entitlements, and he thinks you're entitled to pay for them. How does that work out for the middle class and those working hard to join it?